This news update is brought to you by...
This is how we flow. Oh, the offers are quite exciting, and the prices will leave you smiling. Everybody's got a chance to glow.
Get the new Samsung J5 plus 1 gig free data starting at just $345.
It's Wednesday, December the 9th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. In our top story this morning, a nasty war of wills with class and racial overtones has developed between the Barbados Workers Union and management of the Apes Club, with the union accusing the St. James luxury facility of engaging in industrial terrorism and practicing mental and economic slavery against workers. In a strongly worded statement issued yesterday, the BWU expressed alarm and distress at the Apes Club's management's behavior, charging that it was attempting to trample workers' rights. Apes has insisted that it will not sit around the table with the BWU unless the union has met its demands to complete a fresh vote to determine if it remained the legitimate representative bargaining unit for its employees. The union has contended that it is the workers' representatives and has complained that the employer was unbelievably unwilling to grant recognition against the workers' will. It also accused the employer's umbrella body, the Barbados Employers Confederation, of complicity with APESIL in its effort to prevent the union from resolving several acts of unfairness and crude labor practices which confront the workers. Before that statement was issued, Deputy General Secretary of the union, Dwayne Paul, described the company's behavior as appalling and stupid and accused it of deliberately stalling talks on long-standing issues affecting staff.
We believe the underlying issue in this whole matter is that this is the overfoot to introduce new elements into the industrial relations process that doesn't exist, which is not supported by current practices, and I believe it is also an attempt to, try to force the administrators of the process into a position, which is really an unfortunate situation, because there's no precedent for what is being discussed or what is being forced. Has recognition since 2011.
The Barbados Union of Teachers is pressing for justice for temporary teachers it said were not fairly treated in government's recent list of appointments. It plans to take their case to the Ministry of Education before the school term ends on Friday. At the conclusion of a more than 1 hour-long meeting of temporary teachers who packed the BUT headquarters at Welch's in St. Michael yesterday afternoon, President Pedro Shepherd told Barbados Today members expressed concern about the criteria used to appoint 416 of the nearly 1,000 teachers who had applied for jobs in the teaching service.
What made us so point today was the fact that teachers had no idea what criteria was being used, and they had to determine criteria as the process unfolded based on the teachers who were appointed by batches. So when the first batch of teachers came, the letters to the first batch came, they realized that those persons were teaching for 14, 13, 12, 17 years. The next batch persons 9, 11, and so they were of the view that they were looking at it in terms of years, but by the time the process got midway, realizing that persons with 5 years were getting letters and persons with 10, 9, etc. were still not getting, then they were asking the question as to what was the criteria then, when was it changed, why was it changed, etc.
More young people between the ages of 16 and 21 are turning up at the offices of the Barbados Vagrants and Homeless Society on Tudor Street, the city, to report that they are living on the streets of Barbados. The revelation from President Kimar Safri yesterday as he voiced concern over this development. Safri said homelessness was no longer a respecter of age. He disclosed that during this year, his organization has seen about 30 young people between 16 and 21 who have reported that they no longer have a roof over their heads. He noted that they came to the society alone or accompanied by members of their family. In sport, there's a saying in Barbados, that something cannot last as long as a snow cone in the desert. And while that's what some commentators are saying about the fate of the West Indies against the mighty Australians when the two sides face off in the first cricket test match at Hobart tomorrow, the Windies bowling coach Curtly Ambrose is contending that those who have written off the boys may have to eat their words.
Any series you're going to play, it's always important that you start off with a win. It builds confidence. You don't want to fall behind, especially on 3 test match series. You fall behind after the first game, you're in serious trouble of winning the series. So we're going to try, like I said, not to just compete, but we're here to win. Well, I'm bigger than most of them, so they have to. No, yeah, but since I've joined the team, it took me a little while to really get them to buy into my concept because they're accustomed to certain things. And of course, it wouldn't change overnight. But I must say that in recent times, I've seen some improvement. They are much more patient, because that was really one of my problems. They're not a patient bunch. But I've seen some patience in recent times, and the areas that they bowl has been more consistent. So I believe that, once we continue to do those things, we're going to be okay.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
'Twas days before Christmas. I had so much to do. Shopping, more shopping, and I was feeling blue. There's a mother, father, a wifey, and friend. Lots of things to buy, but there was no money to spend. I found the answer. The BT shopping spree. 15,000 in goodies. Free, free, free. It's easy to enter. Nothing hard to do. Follow my instructions and a winner can be you. Visit facebook.com/Barbados today. Do it quickly and fill out your form to enter this spree. Look, I'm shopping at the Costume Less Mega Store. Come down, fill your trolleys with goodies and more. And like me, you too can say, ho, ho, ho.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter, that's the move for me. Stability, prosperity, we're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Welcome back with news from the region now that the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are voting today for a new government. At stake are 15 seats in the country's parliament, and 43 candidates will be vying for them. More than 80,000 people are eligible to vote in a poll which both political parties are confident of winning. Incumbent Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves and his Unity Labour Party are trying to regain power for an unprecedented 4th consecutive term, while the opposition New Democratic Party, headed by Arnhem Eustace, is seeking to come out of the political wilderness. The Democratic Republican Party and the FVG Green Party are also in the race. Today's general election will be monitored by observer teams from the Organization of American States and CARICOM. In more regional news, Trinidadians are being warned to brace for more job cuts in the energy sector as lower prices and shortfalls in supply are expected to continue in 2016. The CEO and president of the Energy Chamber, Dr. Dax Driver, noted that with one major Trinidadian company offering voluntary separation packages for workers this year and another retrenching 600 workers Monday, he expects more job cuts next year.
Every company is going to be different, so how it's going to deal with particular circumstances are going to be on the particular issues which are facing that particular company and what space they have available to do different things and what their headcount is like and what their efficiency levels are like. So they'll be looking at all of those, but some of them are going to be cutting staff. And yeah, we've seen people cutting staff. We've seen a lot of expatriate workers in Trinidad returning home over the last year. That's been a feature which hasn't really been much in the news. It doesn't really hit the news as local job losses have, but that has happened as well. And we've had these local job losses, and we've seen a lot of Trinidadians employed internationally, working for the international service companies, coming home as well, losing their jobs. So this is a feature of the sector.
And now to the big story on the international scene. A new development in the race for the White House. Donald Trump's latest controversial statement that Muslims should be banned from entering the United States may be the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back, with any likelihood of him becoming president now in doubt. If the White House is to be believed, Trump's statement disqualifies him from being president. But Trump is sticking to his guns.
Defiance today from Donald Trump.
We need intelligence in this country. We need a certain toughness in this country, or we're going to end up like a lot of other places, and we're not going to have a country left.
In the face of unrelenting political backlash, Trump defended his proposal on CNN's New Day, seeking to block Muslims from coming to the United States.
Because you're going to have many more World Trade Centers if you don't solve it. Many, many more, and probably beyond.
An overheated campaign season suddenly even hotter, with Republicans rushing to join Democrats in condemning Trump.
And on that note, we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.